Okay, so today we're talking about something we do every single day, something we barely even think about, drinking water. But what if I told you there's a right way and maybe a wrong way to do it? Let's dive in.
You know, we drink it when we wake up, when we're thirsty, after a workout. It seems so simple, doesn't it? But how we drink water can actually have a huge impact on our digestion, our energy levels, and even our joints. So, are you getting the most out of every single glass? Let's find out.
For so long, the big rule has always been drink 8 glasses a day, right? But it turns out the real secret to being properly hydrated isn't just about the quantity. It's about the quality and honestly, just being aware. We're going to break down some super simple habits that make all the difference. All right, first up, let's talk about the how. I mean, the actual physical act of drinking water. It sounds kind of silly, but it can completely change how your body uses it.
So let's start with something you've probably never even thought about, your posture. Believe it or not, when you sit down to drink, your whole body, your muscles, your nervous system is way more relaxed. This actually helps your kidneys filter everything properly. But when you're standing, it can kind of throw off your body's fluid balance, and sometimes that can lead to fluid building up where you don't want it, like in your joints.
And it's not just your posture, it's your pace. So are you a sipper or a gulper? Because if you gulp down a ton of water all at once, you're pretty much just overloading your system. Your kidneys can't keep up and you'll just pee most of it right out. Sipping slowly throughout the day, that's the key. It's way more efficient and lets your body actually use every drop. Okay, next up is water temperature. I know, ice-cold water feels amazing, but it can actually be a bit of a shock to your system. It can constrict your blood vessels and get in the way of good digestion. Room temperature or even warm water does the exact opposite. It helps your digestion, it cleanses your body, and it actually supports your metabolism. So, we've covered how to drink, but it turns out when you drink is just as crucial.
Yeah, with hydration, timing really is everything.
Here's a super simple, really powerful routine you could literally start tomorrow. First thing, have a glass of water right when you wake up. It rehydrates you after sleeping and helps flush out toxins. Step 2, drink a glass about 30 minutes before you eat. This preps your stomach for digestion and can even keep you from overeating. And finally, the most important part, just keep sipping consistently all day long. That's how you stay ahead of dehydration.
But you know what the most important timing tip is? Don't wait until you feel thirsty. Thirst is actually one of the last signals your body sends. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already a little bit dehydrated. So you've got to learn to spot the early signs like dark yellow urine, dry lips, or just feeling extra tired for no reason. If your urine is clear or pale yellow, that's a good sign you're on the right track.
Okay, for our last section, let's look beyond just the act of drinking. Where your water comes from and even how you store it also plays a big role.
You know, some traditions have suggested for centuries that what you drink from is just as important as what you drink. There's this long-held belief that storing water in materials like copper or silver can actually enhance it. For instance, copper has natural antibacterial qualities, which is pretty cool. It's a great reminder that how we keep our water really does matter.
So what does that mean for us today? Well, you might not have a fancy copper pot lying around, but we have some great modern options. Glass and stainless steel, these are your best bets. They're stable, you can reuse them forever, and they don't leach any weird chemicals into your water. It's always a good idea to avoid plastic bottles when you can, because they can contain stuff like BPA.
And what's with this number, 20%? Well, that's roughly how much of our daily water intake comes not from a glass, but from our food. Things like watermelon, cucumbers, celery, even soup. They're all amazing natural ways to boost your hydration without even trying.
But being mindful also means knowing when to stop. Look, dehydration is way more common, but it is actually possible to drink too much water. It can lead to a pretty serious, though rare, condition called hyponatremia, where the sodium in your blood gets dangerously diluted. This is exactly why that listen to your body rule is so important. It's all about balance, not excess. So, after all that, the how, the when, and the where, what's the one big idea we should all walk away with?
This is it, right here. The goal is to make a shift, to go from just mindlessly chugging water to hit a number, to mindfully hydrating your body. It's about sitting down, sipping slowly, picking the right temperature, and really paying attention to what your body needs. True hydration, it's an act of awareness.
And that's really what it all comes down to. The best part of knowing all this is putting it into action. So think about it. What's one little thing you can change starting today? Are you going to start sipping instead of gulping? Or maybe just switch to room temperature water?
Seriously, even one small change can make a huge difference.